I fitted these heads about 2 years ago, and they have given me quite a bit of grief and problems since I put them on. One thing that's, one of the problems I've had is they leak water around these flanges. You might be able to see a little bit of green coolant there. It's just, you just can't get the things to seal. The only way to seal them is to put a seal around where they actually bolt on, and I've done that, but it's still leaking there now. I've done about 230 odd hours in it and decided to pull it down because the engine had done about 500 hours, and I decided to overhaul it. And when I pulled it out, number one, this cylinder here, number one head, it had a loose guide, and you could see through the rocker cover that there was gases coming up through the worn guide. And with further inspection, I saw that guide was down lower than the other one, so it really took my attention, and I got a punch, and it just barely, it just about fell right out just by tapping it. So I proceeded with the other heads and found another head. The other guide in this number one head was loose too. I found another head that had two loose guides in it, and the other two heads were okay. There wasn't a problem with those. So I reconditioned all the heads and put it all back together, but I just cannot stop the thing from leaking oil. It's leaked right from the very start. I've put oversized O-rings in the push rod tubes, and it just doesn't solve the problem. I believe now that because I've sealed it many times, that I'm just come to the conclusion that the heads are porous, and they'll no longer it'll no longer stop leaking oil. So I've come to the conclusion I'm going to pull these heads off and put the air-cooled heads back on. And after 220 hours, the air-cooled heads weren't too bad. They were still in reasonably good condition. So I'll put them back on, and hopefully all the problems will be solved. I'll just try and show you underneath here where they're leaking oil. Right, I'm laying on my back right now, and this is the head size or end of the push rod tubes, and this is where they're leaking. It's very hard to say because it appears they're leaking around the tubes, but I believe they're leaking up further, and it just gives us the indication that it's leaking through the tubes. And of course the oil just all runs under here, and you can run after a short flight. You put your hand under there, and there's oil running under there. I did look at all options. I thought maybe they're leaking from the rocker covers, so I put new rocker cover gaskets on it and took it out, run it for about 15 minutes, and come back, and there was oil in those places again. So I've just come to the conclusion that these heads are just a problem, so they're going to be removed, and the air-cooled ones will go back on. Thanks for watching, and I'll give you another update later on the air-cooled heads back on. Thanks for watching.